Good morning. This is Dr. Mayorga. I hope that you're having a good day. I just thought that today I would record a video on what it is to be a fixer-upper. Have you ever been called a fixer-upper? Or have you ever thought that you really find yourself trying to fix up situations in people's lives? And then while you're doing it, you might be a little excited, and then toward the end, you're upset or disappointed that you haven't been as appreciated. Because there's several different types of fixer-uppers. There are fixer-uppers, and by the way, the definition of a fixer-upper is someone that feels somewhat obligated or pushed to immediately jump in and fix a situation for a person. I'll give you an example. You might be in a room with a couple of people and they start to talk about something that's going on in their lives or that they need to do this or that. And it'll either be you that'll jump in and try to give them what we call advice or try to tell them how to do it. And some people are grateful, some people get upset, some people get irritated because you can connect fixer upper with also what it is to have boundaries. And the whole idea is asking ourselves, how come we need to do that? How come we need to jump in there and make it better for a person? Uh, it uh, it becomes very matriarchal sometimes when you have children and you see them doing something. The first idea is maybe to go in there and take it out of their hands, and you do it for them because, well, fill in the blank. You can do it better. You can do it faster. You have limited time and you want to hurry up and get out of the house. Um, and it could be something as simple as telling your child to go put on their shoes, and they take too much time or too long in your eyes. So you rush in there and you become the fixer upper. You grab the shoes out of their hands, you quickly put them on, and oh, now we're ready to go. And what that tends to do is remove from the little person the ability to accomplish something and then to experience their own personal pat on the back that they did it. Okay, so now move forward to adult. And I'm going to kind of tie this in with several things. Number one, uh, the, um, the the where you fall in your family dynamics. In other words, sibling, um, not rivalry, but are you the oldest? Are you the middle child? Are you the youngest? Because older children end up taking the role of hurry up and go help your brother or your sister. So you do become a fixer upper. You're responsible. You just want to. You've been given that, so you gotta do it. And as an adult, after a while, you just can't find yourself getting out of that role. But it's irritating because you begin to think, well, why can't they do it themselves? Why am I always the one that has to provide the service or help them? And we make them somewhat dependent on others to always be there to make it better for them. Okay? So I deal a lot with people who come to see me who have this fixer upper syndrome. That's what I call it. And the only way to be able to change it, to begin to move away from that type of a behavior, is to ask what I call those difficult questions. What is going on inside of me that makes me want to jump in and make it better for someone else? I could be uncomfortable when I see somebody in emotional pain. So I want to give them, you know, a way out of it. Or I'm impatient, or I really do believe that I know how to do it better than they do, or I need to control the situation, or it could be any number of reasons. And the only way to be able to, again, evolve from that type of behavior is to ask yourself, what prompts me to jump right in? Yeah, just think back to gatherings. Somebody comes in and they're talking about something that they're dealing with, and they just don't know what to do. And you begin to get that urge to say, well, you should. That's a very good word to listen for. When you hear people say things like, you should do this or you should do that, they have a fixer up personality, because they're telling you what to do. Right? This is about telling you what to do. And we all want to tell people what to do. I mean, I know about this, and I have to bite my tongue because I want to tell my husband how to do it or my grandkids how to do it. And part of personal growth is recognizing that you don't have to jump in there to try to fix it. Stepping back and allowing that person to brainstorm or find a solution to whatever is going on, it empowers that person. Plus, it makes the relationship stronger and it prevents it from deteriorating. Because believe it or not, people get tired of hearing us tell them what to do. Even though you may know how to do it better, we still have to be able to ask if they're interested in a different solution. Or another way of handling it is to get together and say, well, let's brainstorm. You know, what are your ideas about this situation? And I can share some of my ideas. Then you can decide what's better for you. But that doesn't generally happen. I know of, in my own personal family, I've known of other situations where that person that is considered the fixer-upper is not very welcomed in the environment because they know that that's what's going to happen. And the goal is that we will learn as we grow up, if we're being guided in an appropriate manner, to be able to look at a situation, examine it, be curious about it. You're going to hear me say those words over and over again. Uh, and then find the best solution for yourself. It may not be the right solution or the best solution for the fixer upper, but it would be the right one for you. And if it isn't, you can always backtrack and make it different. But the whole idea is, can we recognize that we have that tendency? And from a psychological perspective, there's many reasons why a person falls into that type of behavior. Uh, they they need to feel needed. They need to feel wanted. Their level of self-esteem is not that great. They lack the ability to trust situations. Therefore, that's why they will quickly take it out of your hands, because the only person they trust is themselves to do this the right way. They tend to be hypervigilant. They tend to be, uh, somewhat for a need to control the environment. It can mean many of those things. And this video is really about awareness, self-awareness. Am I a fixer-upper? And if I am, why am I a fixer-upper? Uh, I'll use myself, and I use myself as examples because believe me, I've gone through this. I've done my own personal growth. I've been in therapy. I've grown as a person. I've been able to reflect those behaviors that in reality created a lot of problems for me. And I've said this before, whatever, however way that I am mentally healthy will domino or will into my environment and into my relationships. And so I just leave you with this little tidbit. Uh, When you're out and about today and you're looking at situations and you're immediately thinking that they should do it that way, I hope that you become aware how often that word should is in your vocabulary, because having that word and using that word all the time in your sentences indicates that you really are or want to be a fixer upper. And that's okay, but you've got to answer the question as to what prompts you to be that way. Is it because you have a need for control? Is it because you are not trustful that others will do it the way you believe it should be done? And what's the reason for that? Is it the fact that it gives you what I call accolades? In other words, I've got people wanting me to be around because I can help them. Uh, so again, I can't answer that for anybody. Okay? But the whole idea for these little videos is to kind of shake the foundation that you're standing on and move you toward some personal examination, uh, because what we want to recognize is a lot of these little titles, such as fixer upper, may have a negative connotation to it, but it isn't. It's that we develop these types of behaviors for a reason, and the goal is for us to find the reason so that then we can determine if it's important to tweak it or change it, because is it creating conflict in my life or chaos or disrupting my relationships not only with myself but with others. And One way that I remember I began to recognize that, you know, I could fix stuff, but everybody would make jokes from it. Oh, you know, Mary, blah, blah, blah. Oh, to my face, I began to say to myself, hmm, maybe I need to step back and say, hey, I don't know how to fix this. Let's brainstorm. What do you think are the best ways to make this better? Or let's just let it sit for a while and not think that we have to fix it right away. Because as a fixer upper, it can be something as minute as something inconsequential in your life to something major. And that it starts out this way and it's kind of cute. And watch out for little ones, because they'll begin to show you that they want to fix it for others. And if you're not aware of that, or help them recognize that they do not always have to be doing that, then that will follow them into their adulthood and become a burden. Because in the long run, it will create unhappiness within themselves and for all the other people that constantly think that this person is just, uh, there used to be a Spanish saying that my mom would say, "Nomás está metiendo la nariz donde no les importa." And so, anyway, that's my talk for today. And I hope that these little nuggets of life will help you throughout the day as you go about, and to reflect that how much of the fix it mode are you on a daily basis? How long or how much are you in that fix it mode throughout your day on a daily basis? If you find yourself being the fixer upper all day long, you must be exhausted. So I hope that you have a good day, and thank you very much.